Observation Center, Tower of Defense. How the Blind Man Walks. Why did I say the observation center? How does the blind one walk? How can one hear? Within, without. Imagine, just like your, what is that organ inside of you? Within, without. Saddle or buggy. How you doing? Hi, Tammy. How you doing? I have a background that I put on to the other channel on TikTok. This is the background. See this descending over here? Hey, chill guy. How you doing? Hello, FR. How you doing? Hello, Ben Ganja. How you doing? Stay around, stick around, ask me questions. It takes time to answer what I've put together over 20 years. How I built it up from a .NET Dash. Was a .NET Dash all it was? The first thing I really learned, right? Was that all you need to do is draw a straight line. All I had to do was put my object, okay, on the canvas. That's all I had to do. I had to understand that. I also had to understand what was going on. When I put my hand on the canvas, was I hanging from the sky and going right for the center of the canvas? Or did I have a starting point? So you know the G letter, right? The G letter, right? Well, that would be your starting point. You have the inside. So my hand already breaks up two sides. I can't possibly go all the way around. Everything, my experience. What should I call my experience? Hold on a second. There was that movie, right? I'm not sure, like space, what you're actually saying over there, but the word yo, yo, yo is a combination of Earth and Mars, but it's a 512 RAM communication center, Aries, the Bélier, the first zodiac sign, running, connecting 3 and 4 together, exactly like on this cube. The first connection, okay, becomes 3. 3 is association to Pisces. 3 and 4 will connect together. 3 will be Gemini also, and 4 is going to be Cancer. Now I have to see exactly what we did there. What was the equation I was working out? Wow, I lost myself. Yes, it was within yo. So let me see where I was with this. Oh my God, I can't believe I saw it and I lost it. 3 and 4. 12 and 13. What was going on? What was I talking about? Wow, I wish someone could remind me. This is what happens. Give me a second to catch up. This is huge, really huge. I can't believe I just lost that. See, nothing begins, right, until one meets two. Can't begin until one goes between two. Otherwise, you don't have a connect. And you know the position where one connects is right here through 5. Right? Right here through 5. The connecting 10 star. A, B, C, D. I really have to remember what I was talking about. What was I talking about when you said yo? You said yo, 512. Yes, I was thinking of 512. Okay, and I was thinking, yes, I was thinking of the RAM, the 512 RAM, random access memory. Be known and be now. I take the observation of all that is for all that is known. If you can see see what I see, is this has 9 in this 3x3 area. If you can see that, if you see 7, 9, 3, and 1, then we see as we see. It's all about A, B, C, D. After the death, analog, digital. We have a transmission between B and C. Is there a holding tank? How is it working? Give me a minute, I need some water. Okay. Cheers to me. Let me just check on the other dog. I want to see if both the dogs are here. Just give me a second. Okay, Denver, you're here. Random access memory. Random is Aries. Random is Aries. Random is Aries. Aries is going to play a role with Taurus, and it will create Gemini. When we do that through that 3 conjunction, all I have to do is go Pisces and Aquarius. It was Aquarius that's going to create what is Pisces that will create, Aquarius will create Pisces, which will create Taurus and Gemini. That becomes the house of bait. That's the transition of memory, BG, gigabytes, right? That's your house of communication, your gigabytes. Remember, when you sleep, the zodiac signs, they connect to you different than when you're awake. If you want to come live, you can just ask me. Take a place, ask me a question. What do? I'm not speaking, talking. This, when we come to this page, I am in total vision, my friend Bulk Mos. For the visions are great, for on every single day that another word is mentioned, something that I learn new, okay, that is real to the world, that is in the encyclopedias, the constellations, every single one was given a name. Every single one was given a number and coordinates. Therefore, every single one, okay, is part of the piece of the game. 88, 88 to the piano, 88 to Monopoly, purple Pegasus, purple connects red and blue. Find all the connections and believe this is an electrical hookup. This is a hookup of electric. You know, you can't have the computers work without the electrical hookup, right? Now, if you want to run with natural energy, right, what is the basis for anything? Is it the proton, the electron, and the neutron? And remember, they're words, they have a value, right? They have an association somewhere. They have a pro and they have a ton. They have a nu, although it's N-E-U, and a tron. And then they have an electron. So they have the same kind of plug-in with tron, except one is a CT-ron, the other one is a UT-ron. And guess what? Whether it's a neutron using the U or electron using the C, the U is what creates the C. So the U is an association. The A letter, okay, that is first. What happens possibly that the U letter, okay, is last? The A letter is first. The U letter is last. A row, okay, the row in a heartbeat, which means between A, B, and C, the B is going to be the beat that goes on between A and C. Then A and C is what happens is A takes the center position, okay, to what is B and C, and B goes to the left and C goes to the right, and A goes to the center. And they do the same thing at the Olympics, because at the Olympics, what happens is first place is not, because it doesn't finish in a line, right? When you're in the race, you have a race, and in the race you finish 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? And that's the placements in the race. But when it comes for trophies and stuff, they put first in the center, okay, of second and third. I am so grateful for my work, for what I have asked for in my life has come forth to me. I have received my greatest dream. But every single day that I leave the channel, I think like it was not even real, because it's just like right there. It's just like, how do I balance all these balls in the circus? Except these are utopia. They're fixed mathematical equations. It can't be denied. And with these mathematical equations, they're actually happening in this world. 21 dots on the cube, 21 dots in blackjack. Blackjack pays 1.5 times the amount, and this cube is an 11, 22, 33, 21, 33, 54 area space, flat face, 6 sides by 9. Would you like me to tell you the story now? I'll go a little bit slower. But you know what's really cool? Right? You know what's really cool? Is that on TikTok, there's absolutely nobody. I'm here 20 years. You're in a mental hospital? Does that mean your tail is hooked up? I am in a, well, you know what? I hope you get out if that's what you want to do, right? Yes, to know what the word in the book that has been written, they say that we of who we are the books. You will be inscribed in the heavens, and therefore we are a book. We are being inscribed in the heavens. We are a book. Turn the page. And when you turn the page, usually in watching Winnie the Pooh, it goes from one day to the next. So the transparency is out there, although it's in riddles and rhymes and in games, but it's all fair. It's absolutely fair. Whatever I do, I didn't have to go to here's a calculator. Here's the dice cube. I have 9 numbers. I have 0 that's questionable to be explained, in which the star, in between the 0 and the pound key of your telephone, right? In between the pound key of your telephone, oh, I'm using my phone, right? The pound is a star key, a 0, and a pound key. Well, the pound key slices everything up, and the star crosses them all over. And the 0 connects 4, 8, 6, and 2. You can also use the 0 that when you get to 10, it's because you used a combination of 3 numbers and 6 numbers. You cannot create unless you have 3 numbers. When you have less than 3 numbers, you need a minimum of a total of 4 with 2 cubes. You need 3 and 1, 4. The provable point of this is that in the not only equation, but brought out into games, is that when you have a 6 and 4 matching, you have a 3 and 1 opposite. This, okay, when you're in the game of craps, in the dice game, this is the maximum you can get. One of the reasons my observation shows me, right? Just give me a second. Okay, is that when you get 6 and 6, 12, that is the most, right? 66 equals to 12, right? When you turn it around, you have 1 and 1 equals to 2. You don't create that way. Your creation begins, okay, when 1 meets 2. And when 1 meets 2, what does that mean your creation is? Look at that. 5 and 6, 11 creation. And if you want to take a look of where that's happening, go over to the pool table and you're going to see. Did I say that right? 5 and 6 go over to the pool table. Why did I say that? Yes, the 3 ball and the 11 ball are a stripe, a solid and a stripe. Their first connection is in the first letter, S and S. So they have an association to begin in their own house. What is that association? I can show you very many, but I'm not getting into word etymology because I do not have the answer for it at the moment. So now in the game of craps, this does not get you a 7. 7, 11 to come into the game. This does not. The minimum, right, was 1 and 3, or the minimum will be 2 and 2. 2 and 2, 4. I draw this in, and 5 and 5, 10. 2 and 2, 4, 5 and 5, 10. 55 is Sky Pass. 22, would you like to know what 22 is? 22 you bust out of this cube. There are 22 around the ring at 11 and 11. 22 is 8, 22 is go. 22, 2 times 2, 2 plus 2 is 4, and 4 is 8. So remember, now we got 2 houses of 4, and 4 is 8, right? The 8 is now the heavens, because now he's surrounded the halfway area, right, like that. Just give me another thing. The 5 and 5. Yes, the V in the alphabet. This is the important one. Is the 22nd letter. The E, okay, is the 5th letter reverse. Now everything passes through the E. Everything passes through the E. Now there's a whole complicated things that are going on. So if the story doesn't connect right away, it's because, you know, when I say it all passes through the E, what's also happening is that when you create a V, I always associate, okay, the V with Taurus or the ox, right? So what I do is I expand to this side and to this side. So on this area here, on this cross over here, right, on this cross over here like this, on the cross like over here, I'm going to put Taurus on the ox. But on the cross over here, I'm going to put the Aries. And this one, I'm going to put the Taurus. right? It's 1. It's 1 Aries to 2 Taurus. First zodiac sign, second zodiac sign, 2 horns. The Aries has 2 spiral horns. It's not going straight out and expanding. It's igniting both sides. It's got 2 spiral horns. What if you were sleeping at night? How would those spiral horns look? When you're sleeping at night, right, you're jumping into down the 180-degree plane over here. You lie down, this is an R, this is an R. Did you see that piece today, right? Did you see that piece today where they were talking about pi is C equals R squared? C equals, it's C equals, I don't remember where it was. I think I took a picture of it. It's on TiCHeConnectT. Man, I don't know where it is. But it showed the element where R was replacing one of the scriptures of it. So what happened is it turned into, let me see if I can write this down because I'm just jumping right now. It was 2 times R equaling to 36. And then it said C equals something else. I really, just give me a second. Let me take a look for it. Just give me a second. Yeah, I don't have it. Sorry that I disappeared for the second over there on the other screen. Yeah, now my camera's not sitting the way I want it to. Maybe if I put this coffee cup or something behind it. Okay, that's good. Yes, so to get back to, okay, the 5, the V22, is that V in French, it is life. It's the 22nd letter, and when it says it's life with the letter I and the letter E. The letter I is the 9th letter. The 9th letter, or the 9 months for birth before you are born into the star system, because you are out of the umbilical cord. Therefore, the umbilical cord is connected to the space chute. And that's inside the womb, looking like a D. It's a B and a D, right? When a woman's pregnant, it's a B over here to connect these two. And then what's coming over here is that D. That would be Venus, okay, coming into Mars. And you'd end up with Saturn, and the child is born. Saturn, 6th planet. From Mars, the 4th planet. 1.5 times 4 is 6. We create the half-life. And we show the half-life because 4, right, is both inside of what is 5, 4 corners, to what's inside is what is 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. So now what we have when V, which is also replicating 5, but where does it replicate 5? It replicates 5 in Roman numerals. V represents 5 in Roman numerals, and it is the reverse letter in the alphabet where V is 22 and E is 5. V as 22 to a single digit, it becomes 4 and 5. What goes with 4 and 5? The spade. What goes with 4 and 5? The fox. What goes with 5 and 4? The sun. So now we have the sun, fox. The sun is 54, the fox is 45. One is 9 times 6, the other is 9 times 5. Like I explained in the game of craps, under right now documented with rules at every single casino around the world right now. They are playing a game, okay, and the name of the game is craps. And everything they talk about are what happens on every single roll of the 2 dice. And every time these dice roll, they tell stories. Because they don't know what's going on mathematically and why it was created that way. They only know it's the 6 sides. So they only put dots for each side to make them different. Because every time something is understood different and the numbers are different. If you see 6 and 5, this is an equation. 6 times 5 is 30, 6 plus 5, 11. Minus or plus is 41 and 19. The opposite side is going to be 1 times 2, 1 plus 2. equals to what is 3 and 2 equals to 5. The other side is 56 equals to 30, and 11 equals to 41. If I minused it, it would be 5 and 1. And if I minus the other, it would be 30 or 3 and 30 and, hold on a second, it'd be 41 and 19. And you know what's funny about that? Not sure if I'm showing this over here. Let me see if I can do it. Well, I'm going to call it out first. When I multiply 1 times 2, 1 plus 2, it equals to 3 and 2. 3 plus 2 is 5. 2 minus 3 is 1. We then have 5 and 1. The reverse side of the cube is 6 and 5. When I multiply 6 times 5, it equals to 30. When I add 6 plus 5, it equals to 11. 11 plus 30 is 41. 4 and 1 also equals to 5. If I minus it, okay, 30 minus 11, it equals to 19. If I add it, it becomes 41. 4 and 1 is 5. 1 and 9 is 10. 1 plus 0 is 1. They become the same equation. I call it star system math. This is how it was mentioned to me. It said, take it as it is for face value. It is an x over a plus sign, which shows now the division of an area space. Pending how close you make other area spaces is going to tell you that equation. And it is an obligation when you do this, because we taught the children, as I was taught, how to keep my pen on the line, always to cut from corner to corner. Always know that you can't be wrong, other than the unsteady hand, to know exactly where the other side is. It's that easy. The observation of everything that exists can be numerated, put in its collective filings. We can look over the differences to understand how something is so different getting the same number, what's happening. Perhaps it's a piece of building the swing set where all the parts of number 19 all go for the seat of the swing. You know what I'm saying? Maybe it's little, anyways, whatever it is. I mean, look in space, how they put coordinates all over space. Right, correct, okay. So we were speaking, let me see where I was. Yes, I was also talking that if we were in a race, right? If we were in a race and we finished first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, that would be a string of numbers, right? But they only take the cream of the crop. So can we say cream of the crop? Now, for me, when you want to crop something, you know, you would crop the top. So I would like cut off the top. So I would take off the point, right? So by taking off the point, all you're left with, okay, that if you were in the Olympics, you'd have first, second, and third, both the silver and the bronze would be beside you. So you crop the top off, if you understand what I'm saying. One ends up moving. I'm going to say this a little bit easier. When you crown the one who wins, it's always the point. The point, okay, when it connects, it's always the point. Just hold on a second. I'm trying to figure out where I was. Yes, this is what I was getting to. Like I said, on your keyboard, you have a string of 9 numbers. Well, in the race, you have a string of, let's say, 9 people running. But when it comes to the end, everybody gets classified in a pyramid-like style. Gold in the center, silver to the left, bronze to the right. Think about it. Silver to the left, bronze to the right. The third world and the second world and the divided world of the gold. The pliable worlds. The information, the confirmation. The confirmation. The pliable world. Analog to digital. I'm not sure 2R36C equals. Yes, so they were doing this thing on pi, and I think it was 2R equals 36, C equals obviously C equals to 12, right? I think that's what I did today. They had a total of, like I said, they had a, wow, I wish I can do, they were doing pi and I had that. I think I did a video on it. Maybe I'll get back to it later. How's everybody doing over here? Right? How's everybody doing? Hey, guess what? I'm in the White House. 65 and 68. Right? 65 and 68. So that would be what? 133? 65, 60, and 68 and 5. Okay. 68 because it's house planet, right? And 65 because it's white. 65 is also, guess what? The white horse. 65, 65, 11, 11. And you know what's funny about the white horse? Okay. You know what's funny about the white horse? Pegasus, 88. 8 times 11 equal to 88. 8 and 11 is 19. 88 and 19 is 107. Okay, let me write that down. Whoa, boy. 8 times 11 equals 88. 8 plus 11 equals 19. 88 plus 19 equals 107. 19 minus 88 equals 69. Right? So yes. So this is what it's telling me right now. So how did we get to this? Oh yes, it was the white horse. White equals to 65 and horse equals to 65. Now we have to branch out because we need to branch out because we got the horse, right? We got the horse. And yeah, if you want to come on here live and listen live and join in this harmonious book that we are reading in all creation. Of all the board games you've ever played in your life, of all the board games you have ever played in your life, all the comic books you have ever read in your life, for the alphabet you know of A1, Z26, or just the alphabet in its own, A, B, C, D, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. Now I know my ABCs. Hey, slow that down. That there's different houses and values for this alphabet, and the stories they tell, and the numeric evaluation, each of the houses, okay, for their numeric evaluation, but the S will be the S no matter what, even if it's valued at 19. But when we move it into the house of 360, when we move it into the house of 360, 26 goes into the house of 360, right? But it's 27 goes into the house of 360. I'm going to explain that after. Let me try and explain it. So what happens is A becomes 6 and Z becomes 31. See, I know there's a lot of numerology realities going on, and I like to add in why one of what I do should be added on to what's already a vast number of people already reading the zodiac. Fantastic people who are reading the analytics that have been put together. But have they sat down together to discuss these analytics that are going on? Right? To actually, because it was mentioned, one of the number one readers of numbers, which is for me, I mean, there's probably many others, but because this one is a little off the, it's way different. There's a lot of holes in it, right? But the memory is fantastic. The way it's put together as a whole, as a sales pitch, is fantastic. And very honest that they said it's only like 65% that'll work, just like in the sports, you know what I'm saying? And there's always, just like in sports and as in life, there's always a handicap for the difference of our knowledge, you know, how we balance out amongst each other, where we take our most importance in order for us to communicate together. So, anyways, what happens to the alphabet is when you reset the, you know, I feel like Christian Freeland, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm like going like this. Yeah. Okay. This is just very exciting, you know. I got a whole story to tell. And but I want the more, you know, how you grow this story is every time, hey Mo, every time somebody asks a question, I can know something. So let me see what Mo has to say, or let me finish this. So yes, S is the 19th letter, but when you move it into the 360 house, the S becomes 24 and the X, okay, becomes 29. That's very important because the C, okay, is now number 8. And the S, which is converted to the H, is now number 13. The entire alphabet gets shifted when you shift the alphabet for 360 degrees. And that expression also comes to me is where the percentage sign is. Okay, and it's located, okay, person, are you a person? No, you're part of the seventh gate. You're a percentage sign. You're part of percent, right? C-E-N-T, percentage. I'm not going to get through the whole etymology of how I dissect what the word is because it still has to be discussed. The game of roulette has shown me, I'm not sure if you've seen this. I'm going to see if I can put it in my background right now. Just give me a second on my other and then show it to you. I'm going to explain it to you. I don't have the full answer, but what it did is it showed me, as somebody mentioned to me, it looks like the 33 rows of 12, 36 strands of our DNA, okay, which is doubled up and possibly overlapped, starting out as a string up here and then branching out before it starts to go straight. So this part over here could be missing at the beginning of its strand. And I have part of the artwork to show that. And it comes right from the roulette table. Now you can use this in other ways also. We also have to remember that if once you plug the electricity up and the plumbing up, we can now run our digital. If they're running off of the nature, if we're running off natural energy, you're right. Right now, in 8 billion people, we're all breathing in that air. I hear the dogs bark pulsating through me. It's aggravating. I'm breathing in that air, that aggravating air, and my thoughts, because I can hear. Thank God I cannot see, because I don't want to be in front of that face where that wind is coming, that ugly wind. Even if it's good to them, it's annoying to me. Every dog bark, I don't like it. Either they're hurt and I have to run and help them, or they're barking for a reason and it's bothering them, so then I feel sorry for them, you know. But when they fight, it's okay. I know they're smiling, you know. I don't know what it is. It's just cuckoo, right? So let me put this out here. All right, I just want to show the camera what I just put in the background. I'm not sure if you can see this. All right, hold on a second. I'm going to take a look myself. I'm going to get out of my chair and see if you can see this. So you see that there? That's an obligation. This is an obligation, comes from roulette. It's a roulette design. It's the numbers on board. They're showing you, I don't know all the stories, but because I know some of the stories and how, right? And how it works. I'm going to show you a short rendition of how it works. I don't have the full formation at all. Do you see this? What's happening? And I don't have the format with me, but on the roulette wheel, okay, whether it depends whether it's American or European. When it's American, there's a 0 and a double 0. It's going to separate the wheel between 18, 2, and 18. That will be the American wheel. Let's say American English. In the French wheel, okay, and this one's going to have 38 numbers, and it's going to have a 0 and a double 0. The numbers crisscross. Make that web. It creates a web. I can't do it right now. I don't have it on me. I just want to let you know. Just give me a minute, please. Every time I go deep to breathe that air, but they're serving us. Do you want to know if there's somebody here? I want to ask you a question. If everything I'm doing is absolutely perfect because the math is perfect, I got out of school with a terrible grade. The observation skills I have are uncanny because I'm telling the truth of what's exactly there. If many can agree with me, it really, it pumps me up. I feel like I'm floating. And at the same time, my heart burns because it's pumping all that information and it's reading inside of me. I only need one of my hands to move. We're machines. Watch the rigidness of our movements. Understand them. Don't look at the complete sine wave. Look at it like this, like a robot's moving. That's the way you have to look at it. You have to see how the movement got there. But we see it with a blinding speed of light and we don't notice it. The alphabet shuffle, 360 degrees. A moves to 6, Z moves to 31. Now what connects everything is now the letter N. What was the 14th is now the 19th. Where the O was once the 15th, it is now the 20th. They take over for S and T. The O and the N take off there. So if you want to look at the word stone is because the alphabet got shuffled. And the lower part of the alphabet, 1 through 36, until the alphabet moved to the center, right? If you move to the center, the wobble, we need movement. Like springs on the car, you need that movement. So we're moving in whatever this sphere inside a sphere or inside, well, everything has to be basically square. I don't want to say this, but it has to be square, okay? But it's not the moving part that has to be square. It's the stable house that has to be square for whatever reason it is at one point or another. And don't forget, a square can also be sitting like this, or a cube. There's 6 sides on this. There's only 5 when it's plugged in because we use one side to plug in. 4 to the pole, 4 to 2 poles, and 1 to the North Pole. This is the plug-in. You can deny it, but this is the story I'm using right now. I'm just saying, forget about my head. I'm just saying this is when it's sitting on the table, you roll the dice and boom, it's sitting on the table. How many sides do you see? You see 1 on top and you see 4 around. 1 is down. If you count up all the dots, okay, you will know that whatever is on the top, right? Whatever you see on the top, always total it to 7. So you know right away 4 is missing. You always have 14 dots around. So this is going to be 17. That's the story. Categorize it and know it. Okay, yes, luck of the draw. So where were we with this? So we realigned the alphabet, and it's very important. This S and T is where the gold is. We just figured out that in a race, right? And it's the top part of your keyboard, like on your keyboard, all the numbers are in a row, all the ducks are lined up. In the army, they're lined up this way, facing that way. In a race, they're right. How is it like that? Well, it doesn't matter. The different rows, I'm not going to get into that. You know, when you're in the army, how you line up, you know, for the roll count. And then when you're in a race, how are you positioned? I don't want to get into that. I don't have anything set up in my head. Where was I with this? Yes, so the realignment of this is because what happens is StarNet comes into the game. This is where the 360 pops in. We have the 26 letters and StarNet pops in. Here is StarNet. StarNet Sun Systems, SNSS. 3 moons. The N is going to be the sun. 3 moons and 1 sun. And I don't know if it has a reflective sun, okay? And it has one sun. Now, I don't know if it's a reflective sun, if it's just a red sun, or is it going to be just like Rubik's Cube, right? Which has 6 colors, and which are 3 versus 3 colors. And what happens is the sun is a split sun. Now, is it split into 1? Is it split into 2? If it's split into 3, why is it split in all these different numbers? Because one of them is, when you come into this world, you retain the major connection. Hello, Luna, wake up. Little Susie, yeah, okay. And yeah, wake up, little Susie, right? When we come into this world, our creation base mirror, okay, our base creation mirror, it's right over there. And why would I say that? Because it's a 7. 7s duplicate, like above, like below. It's a direct plug-in. Look at that. Direct plug-in. 3 and 4, 4 and 3. Earth and Mars, Mars and Earth. And do you remember we were speaking earlier? We have to always speak earlier because in the Zodiac Bible, right? Now, I'd like to know if there's discrepancy, because right now I don't have much discrepancy. But in the Zodiac Bible, right, they have Capricorn at midnight. Right, from midnight, and you do that all the way to 2 o'clock, which means it's 7:20, okay, over to 1:20. It's pretty cool. Let me see if I can fix this. Hold on, my phone is on the wrong angle. Hold on. I'm not sure if you can see this on the left side. Okay, so here, Capricorn is at midnight. Now, I might be all over the place. That's why when we do this, we need a pen and paper, and we need like 3 people working with us to write it down. I'm going to go slow. I should, even if I'm a little off, okay, in presenting the story, I'll go slow enough that if somebody wants to take any notes, you'll have enough time. Don't hesitate to ask me any questions. Right? Moony, money, moon, monkey. Right? Now you got me thinking monkey. I'm going to tell you about that monkey, right? So what you have over here, I don't think my phone is seen in the right direction. Let me see. Now, I don't know why I can't get the phone to Just give me a second. No, it's not. It's not showing up. I'm going to take my backboard off. Sorry, I have to take my backboard off. Background. I have to take this down for a second because I can't get my other phone lined up. You know, I don't know why. Okay, so here is what it is. According to the Western Society Zodiac Association, tell me if I'm wrong. They start Capricorn at midnight. If you started at 0 hours, it would be 120 minutes to 0 to 120. If it is, it will represent the dartboard. If it starts it at 12, it'll be 60 minutes at 60 seconds. It'll equal to 60 minutes of 60 seconds, or right? It'll create 12 hours of 60 minutes will be 720. Therefore, there's going to be this gap. The mathematics, 1 times 2, 1 plus 2, 5. 7 times 2, 14. 7 and 2, 9. 9 and 14, 23. 2 and 3, 5. This amount of separation in time makes them equal, something to do with the matrix system. But if there was a matrix system for this, it always works out. So we started Capricorn. Look. After that, it reduces. It becomes 120 to 240, right? So where was I going with this piece here? Okay. Yes, we were talking about the 3 moons, Earth and Mars. Okay, and I was talking about, just 1 second. Okay, I'm just trying to think of what's going on. With this. Wow, I've went over so many things, I've even lost myself. I was down at random access memory, okay? And just to note that this design is this side and this side. If I would be running a DVD, I'd be running it from an R over to an R. The legs go up. It winds here, it passes through here, and it winds up over here. It goes down overnight to the bottom area, and we live to go over another day again. Random access memory. The M joins both sides in R and R, R and M. The A is what joins the 2 parts, and the cube is set up right here in part of this house to where it is in the divided house and part over here. So we're living in between one part of this house and one part of this house. And according to what they call this angle, the 90-degree angle, we have to understand that if we're living only in 90 here and 90 here, we're only living in 180 degrees. We're divided at the halfway house. But because we're split up between ourselves, our moon, and these 2 worlds, we now become from 2 and us. We become at the heart of the matter. We become the gold between the silver, right, and the bronze. Or we are the 4th place and we are the lower point, right? There's 4 corners. These 2 corners on the upside get the silver and the gold. The gold, the silver, and the bronze. And down here we're in 4th place. We either played this team. We either lost to the 3rd place. If it was in sports, we either lost to the team that lost to the other gold, or we lost to the silver over here. If it was baseball, we count it up a different way. Just give me 1 second to breathe. Random access memory is showing the 3-moon communication with the divided sun. Remember, we sleep. Everything changes. We sleep. Who are we? For every breath you take, that's who you are. Whatever address is within you, however they read you, you only know for who that you are. But for the number of who you are, what number would you like to be? The trueness of the numbers that you are is we are all 33s. We are all 110% of the halfway house of the game. The halfway house of the game of the 60 seconds on the clock or the 60 minutes, okay, is going to be 30, because 30 is half of 60. Therefore, because we are split up into 3 elements, the only game that's split up that I know into the 3 elements is hockey. It's 20-20-20. So we become 1/3, okay, 1/3 or 13 if you want to look at it that way. And the reverse of 13 is 29. In Monopoly, the reverse of 13 is 29. On the piano, the reverse of 23 is 29. And I'm going to get to what that says as well. So we can see that the random access memory, or the AIR system, okay, is connecting between these 2 sides here. See the A letter? I don't know why it's not straight. Oh, because one of my phones is not straight. I think that's why. Right? Ah, there you go. There you go. Now it's straight. Hey, how can I move all those comments over to the right? So, okay, so we haven't, it seems like either the comments stopped on YouTube, or let me see what's going on here for a second. Just give me a minute. Whoa. Wow. Hey, professional, I am not. How you doing, Jenny? Every time I see that name, I think of blueberries. You know that, eh? I don't know. I have pronouncing that other name. TNH, eh? Time heaven. TNH, 28. 28 equals 11. 11 will create the C letter. So TNH will create 28, right? 28. 84. TNH, 20 and 8. I'm just trying to think. It's okay. It's not 11. Okay. It's 28. So what happens is the 2 branches out and reaches to the 7 and the 9. And then what is in between the 2 will branch down and connect between the 1 and the 3. When this is happening, right, on the branching up from 2 over to 7, and from branching down from 8 over to 1, you're going to pass through the Fox Pass, okay, in the 9th house. And in the 11th house, you're going to go through the Sky Pass. Let me explain this to you. When you look at this calculator, right, when I stretch an arm from here over to here, that's 9. 8 over to 3, that's 11. My total is 9, 12. When I go 7 over to 2 is 9, and 9 is 18. Remember those numbers, 12 and 18, right? 7, 4, 1 is 12. 9, 6, and 3 is 18. Now we do it this way. 7, 6, and 1, 14. 9, 4, 13, 16. 14 and 16. We have to remember that also. 14 and 16 is 30. So we have to remember we have 4 months of 30 days. So we stretch 7 to 2, 8 to 1, 4 to 5. Those are your 9s on this side of the board. Your 9 on this side of the board is your 6 and 9, 9. Right? So if you had to go 9, 11, you can go this way, and this way. See that? 365 days, 0.47. Most will say the average is 0.25, right? 22. 22 for the pole. I take the 22 for the pole. If you do not understand something, if I'm going too fast for you, if you'd like me to back up on the story, I can repeat everything I say. I just don't remember it. I just don't know if I'll remember it exactly where I was at the present time. That's why I need somebody taking notes as I go, even for myself. Let me get a glass of water. If you're feeling a little frugal and you like to help support the channel, then you can share these videos, share parts and pieces of what I talk about If you're still searching for certain items like what are certain numbers, what do they mean, I can give you an etymology of the numbers. If you want, yeah, I can give you the etymology of the numbers, which also includes the etymology of the words that go with it, more or less. It's a full understanding, a complete. It's an exact science. It's not whether I'm going to be correct part of it, but I'm going to be more or less 90% correct, because it's going to be, most of it is the mathematics, and they're going to match up. What we have to do as ourselves is use our own judgment. At least we have a plateau to work with, right? Before it was like jumping in the air and we're never going to land because there is no earth. But now, because of the mathematics and the understanding of the conjunction of the numbers and how they work together according to this cube, right? And according to the science that was served upon to us, which is 360 degrees, that if you look at the clock during the day, right? If you look at the clock during the day, 60 60s is 3600, right? 60 minutes at 60 seconds, 3600, right? Times 24. That's a whole day. Like I said, when you create, right? The minute you create half and half. Underneath, if we're creating with the first letter, the ace, we go right underneath the ace, we go this way, right? But what if we're creating first in our own house? If you're creating in your own house to begin with, here it is. The delta angle, the dullet. In its own area space, I chop the space in half. It is 1/2 of a whole. Would you like to see 1/2 of a whole? Here's the 1/2 of a whole, right here. Here's 1/2, split this, 1/2, one whole. 1/2, one whole. One man, one pig. What makes us who we are equivalent to some other object? Can it be because, hey, look, do they make us just look all different because they base it on just the DNA? You know, if both of us take the same ingredients, right? Except I put an elastic band on my ingredient, or I enveloped it into some package. We have all the same ingredients, except mine is enveloped in a certain package, but it only gets enveloped for a certain part of the day, hardly ever noticeable, that it keeps opening up and closing and opening up and closing, but nobody ever sees it because it's so periodic that you don't understand what it's doing. You know, when the clock runs, I think it has to do it 60 times before you get the hour. And before you get 1/3 of the day or 1/8 of the day, you know, it has to do it many more times. Well, the 864 is the diameter of the sun, the number of seconds in a day. Half of that is 432. That is our vibration, living between 1 and 5 in the heaven's gate of Jack. 6, 7, 8. We are the birth, living in the gateway in the heavens of Jack. And in that position, Saturn square has taken that position. If I said this correctly, okay, passage through the 7th gate. So we were now passing through Aries. Okay, we passed through Aries. Just give me a second. I have to see it. We're going through Libra, okay, and we're going to live in Aries under the divided sun. Because in Saturn square, they went ahead and moved what is in the 8th position. Now the 1 is in the 8th position. Now, do I put it under what is now in the 8th position, or where the 8th position moved to, right? Because the 8th position moved over to the 7th position of Uranus. So would that mean we are living our 8, okay, within the gateway of Uranus? Our creation You need A and B. You need A and B. You live in what is A and B is C creation. You are the 6 of A and B. Just like on this cube, A and B, you become 3, a divided 3 and 3. You come into this house. We already know that 6 is the reverse of 8. We already know that everything passes through the 7th gate of 6 and 8, and it's mathematically correct. The multiplication is 2 times 4, 2 plus 4. Now, we have the alphabet. Now, like I said before, we're working with A, B, C, D. That's it. In reality, I don't need more than A and B. But it's what happens, right? It's what happens. A all of a sudden has B, and then B by its hold on. I think it starts with A and A, but A is A. How can I do this? Okay, I'm just going to see if this is what it actually, right? I don't know. I don't know. I'm just fooling around, you know? So I was just fooling around, you know? So like, where in the world did I come up with that? I'm just acting a little silly. So what this actually is, right, is this is, oops, I forgot to do this. In order to do this design, this is the A letter. In order to square off the A letter, the same as when you look at the E letter or you look at the F letter, there's a short arm on it. This short arm stops at the eyeball, crossing through the bridge of the nose. Here is that division. If we were living in the split brain over here, where the eye is of the 360 degrees, the right and the left hemisphere, when you're asleep, it's like this. When you're awake, it's like this. When you're asleep, it's like this. When you're awake, it's like this. Takes 45 and 45. 45 is for the word fox. It's a noted army thing. It's to dig a trench out, right? Trench usually is for V for a life. So you now have 2 trenches this way and 1 trench down. And the C over here, right? You see this over here? Why did I do it like that? Yes, that was the C. Yes, this is the C3, right? The Batman, if you want to do it, the Batman, or how about the Bat's Mitzvah, right? Talking about the 12th moon inside of ABC. So this is just part of my vision that I add on, that I will study along with this. It's not possible that no one's commented in a half an hour. There were like 3, you know, I just watched somebody with 75 people a show where I couldn't even understand what they were saying, right? Whoop, I think I saw something. Blueberries. Oh, yes, blueberries. Let me see what's happening over here. Okay, so let me just slow down. So the last I did while I was talking is I realigned the alphabet. Do we remember this? What happens is when we come into the world, we come in through the star system. Okay? Here is our pad. 3 times 3 equals to the 9 birth. 3 plus 3 is the 6 life. We connect these 6 here. It took 3 to create the 6. The face of every single cube. They pray to it in Islam. The Hebrews put on the tefillin. Okay, we use it officially in games. We have odds that go along with it. We have different games and rules and regulations that go along with it. It tells the story for what it is. It is 6 faces. We also have Rubik's Cube. Rubik's Cube looks the same thing. Rubik's Cube shows me that I can take every piece apart. It also shows me that there's 3 by 3 in Rubik's Cube. Here you only see a solid. You should know that although you'll see the 54 area spaces, that in Rubik's Cube you will actually have only 26 cubes. These 26 cubes will all be associated to the main cube, which is the heart cube. There is one cube in the center of Rubik's Cube connected to 26 cubes. Not just that. What's really weird, okay, is all the 8 corner cubes, all the 8 corner cubes of Rubik's Cube that we shouldn't forget. One second. I'm going to put this in my new book. The 8 cubes, corners, 3 colors. Okay, Rubik's Cube. Okay, are free moving. Okay, they are free moving, right? And then, okay, and then there are 12 to the center. Okay, 2 colors, free moving. Then there are 6, okay, to the heart. They are on the cross. It is, okay, they are on the hexagon cross. And the cross, okay, has a core 1 and a 6 connect. Rubik's Cube, if you like to ask, you can ask me what I'm doing, right? There's no comments over here. Is like, we got to get this really out there. I got too much information, and you know what, the more people ask me questions, the more I'm going to just broaden my own mind. And when I broaden my mind and share it with you, I mean, automatically, if you do the homework, right, same thing's going to happen for you. If I didn't study it, if I didn't take my observation, right, on the element you shared with me, I cannot share it back with you and tell you anything different than what you told me. I can go, uh-huh, 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 yep. Uh-huh. I like to know where everybody's at. We need 1 trillion likes. Freedom, the understanding of the word, learning the word. I'm just going to repeat this right now. We are to learn the word. I want to hear what sound this is. Wow, I love it. Wow, that was so nice. I have to go slow. Even though I know I'm going to come out of the channel, I'm okay with it. Let's do something exciting. Do you know, let's do something you haven't asked me. I'm not jumping off the subject, right? But no one's really ever asked this, so I'm going to show it to you. This one over here is, this one over here, hold on. This one over here is okay. This one over here is Just give me a second to finish this. Okay, 1 second. 7. And this one over here is 9. Okay. I'm just going to show you the lower scale of a time clock. What's going on in time. What the alignment is according to a certain number. The heart of 666 Saturn Square, also noted to be his headquarters. Okay, his Fox headquarters. Okay, house of the spade, the beehive, right? Why is it the beehive? They told me, and they wrote in the bicycle cards or in another deck of cards, that the 92, which shows a 2 for the queen, right? One of the decks, the old deck, shows a 2 for the Q letter, right? Because it's Venus 17. It's, I think it's either 8 by 2 plus 1, or it's 8 times, yeah, 8 times 2 plus 1. Can also be 2 times 9 minus 1, right? It's the 2 equation, because Venus is the 2, brings in the 9 birth. Venus is the heavens that when it brings in the birth, the 9 birth, it brings in the lunar moon. So that you connect your 1 and your 9. So when your 1 and 9 connect, you are connecting the 9 birth right into the 11th house. I'm showing it to you here. On one side, okay, is 1 and 8, 2 and 7, 4 and 5. Okay? And on the other side is the 2 and 9, 3 and 8, 5 and 6. On each side, you have this 111 here and this 9, this 9 over here. The thing is 1 and 2, okay, doesn't come into the game in anything, right? It's already there, because you need the 1 and 2 to create you. They need to create from here to create you here. This is your connection 7. Your 1 and 2 goes into 3. Your 3 connects with 4. The halfway point between 3 and 4 is 0.5. That's where they meet at the halfway point. They play right over here. It's the 4 and 5, your 9, to what is the 5 and 6, your 11. The white horse, Pegasus. White and horse is 11, 11. And you have, there it is, 5 and 6. 45 is Fox Pass. It's also the sun, the female part. This is the male part. The male part, the female part. You see the way this lumid connects? What this is just not a lumid. It's overlapping. There's 2 overlappings. There's 1 wing here, and then there's 1 wing connected here. Just like we have a wing here. See this 1, 2, 3, 4? Well, it's replicated with these 4 over here, connected through the 5 element over here. Let me think back for a second. What I was just talking about. I lost my, just give me a second. Wow. I don't, okay. So nothing comes in until 1 and 2 are created. So now it means, okay, that your base creation, when you bring this in, it connects over to 8. Here you connect over to the 9, right? Here you connect over to the 9. That is going to be your birth. But the coming of your birth, it's your 6th birth, right? This is your communication center. 1 moon and 2 moons to your body. You also get the sun, and when you get the sun, it's when the star system connects. That's when you get the sun. And that star system connecting 40, okay? And this is on a flat surface. I need to create possibly, I think, 3 and 4 surfaces for that star. I don't remember exactly how it is. I have to see it in a 3D art, right? But my star goes 1 and 9, 10, 2 and 8, 10, which creates, let me show you this, what it creates. So this is the artwork that it creates. This is the beginning. This bar in the center is the 4.5 zone. It's part of the sign zone area. And if you can see the V over here, my question would this be a vortex coming down to here? And this be a vortex coming up to here? And we're having an exchange over here? Well, the next 9 happens to be over here. Is that where the vortex comes in? The exchange? Is it screwing through? Is it going through this way while these are flowing down this way? And you're just flowing through it. Remember, when you see 2 lines, you see this? But when I show it to you this way, you might think it's on top of each other. But look, the energy flows on the outside, not on the inside, right? The river flows on the inside. So I'm showing you that your 3 and 4 connect together. This is where T and H. These are specially different. There's only one of these for every 10 numbers. Let me mark this down. For every 9 numbers, sorry. First, second, third. Okay? Those are 3 areas. Okay, of 9. So it is a combination of 3, okay, and 6. 6 of the numbers go together, 3 of the numbers go together. These 2 go together into here, and then we have 6 more. The 4 will reflect the 3, and everything passes through these 2 over here. So when I'm saying this is that I have to get to the heavens, okay, that come into under the split sun. When you hit the 1 with the 8, it changes into a design. Instead of being a straight line of the alphabet or a straight line of numbers, right? We have to put in motion, okay, mentally, if it's possible, that we're going to use the A letter like this. Because this, tell me if this is the ace letter. Right here, either it is or it's not. I put a bar in over here. It shows me this side and this side. I already know the H letter would put me the arms on the outside. I know the I letter would split it in between. I know the M letter would join 2 sides. I know the N letter, okay? There's a few ways of doing the N letter, right? See, the M letter has an extra bend. The N letter goes straight up. This M will equal to N and N, 13 and 28. And it's going to change when the alphabet gets the shuffle. Right? Remember what I said. When you come into the game, right, you have the alphabet, you have the house, right? And you come over an area space, you know, that split area space. There's a missing element in the area space. It's either on this side or it's on this side, right? What happens when you come here through that pole, right? The donut area, you come into that donut area. The omega, which is at the pole of the alpha that you come into, okay? And you're like life on the pole. And your life 6 and the pole is 6 + 1 rotation. Look at Rubik's Cube. Take Rubik's Cube apart. Look at it. You will see. You will see. Rubik's Cube has 18 free roaming. Those 18 free, sorry, it's not 18 free roaming. It's 12 free roaming that are on the area of the cross, plus the 6 cross itself, 6 and 12, plus the 1 element that connects the universal joint. The universal joint of Rubik's Cube has 6 connections to it. So when I say the omega of the alpha, I don't know if I can design this properly. This is not the way I wanted to do it, right? But I'm just doing it this way for now. I'm just doing it quick. So you take this image and you look at this image. So where this is over here, right? This one comes together this way. This one comes together this way. They connect in order to create the area space under the sun. The sun locks itself around this, right? I'm not really sure where the moon fits in this, or whether the sun envelops the moon within it, because what happens is the moon is within this house. The sun connects to Mars. Mars is 2 moons for its communication, okay, and energy services, right? Because the services of the energy, the air we breathe, the information in the air that's dictating to the air we breathe. Do you follow where I'm going with this story right now? So we have to take that and we have to look. It's two different sticks. And if you look at it, right, when you go on this angle, everything is going by 2s. When you go on this angle, everything is going by 4s. So when I bring this stick in this way, it's going by 2s. When I take this in to this way, it's going by 4s. Well, what about the ones doing this? Well, pick up your telephone, take a look at the numbers of your telephone. On your telephone, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. On the ATM and calculator, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The calculator is going this way, the telephone's going this way. So I can invert it like this, where the calculator can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, right? And the telephone, wait, if I put the calculator here, it'll count the 9 over here. If I did that, the telephone's going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Look at that. 9 over, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So my 9 is here. And then the other ones start 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Both 9s end up in the same spot. So you have 9, 6, 3, 9, 6, 3, 9, 6, 3 is what you're going to have. And you're going to have 18 numbers. The thing is, 18 is only on 1/2 of the circumference. So you need 2 of them. So 18 and 18 is 36 for 360 degrees. That's where the letter R comes in. Possibly what the R is, the R has a double head on it. I'm going to show you the double head of the R. I'm not really sure which way I should make this, so I'm going to show you it 2 ways. There's a couple of ways to do it. I'm not happy with what I am doing right now, because there's too many ways to do this. But just to let you know that the R looks like a television set. At the same time, if you take a look at the R, right? Do you see it? Just don't look at the top part, but it's number 70. So there's a bunch of things that are going on with that R. It's a 0, it's a V coming together. I got off of what I was thinking between the running of the pole, right? So when you come into this gap and you need the moon space, right? You're going to take this over here and you're going to spread it apart, and you're going to push out the area space, and now you're going to occupy the center of that area space, and you're going to have that noyau around you, and that noyau around you, okay, is what's going to be on your waist over here. You're 2, 5, and 8. When you're awake, you reach the heavens. And when you're asleep, you're in the federation in your vibration between 4, 5, and 6. 4 times 5 times 6 equals 120 and 15 equals 135. 135, very special. 1, 3, and 5. 1, 3, and 5. So many things. First of all, when you're coming around in zodiac signs, the 13th sign is back to the beginning again. Either it's going to be the rat, or it's going to be Aries. Something funny about number 1, the movement of 1 and 2 is a halfway movement. When you go 2 and 4, that's a whole movement. Okay, but 1 and 2 is not. When you take a look at this over here, if I count the rows on an angle, I have 1 dot, 2 dots, 3 dots, 4 dots. But if I count it squarely downwards, I get 1, 3, 5. So here I'm counting by 2 because the one area is going to fairly share with the other area. Here it's 1 between 2 and 1 between 2 and 1 between 2. It's not this here, it's 1 between 2. And then here is 2 areas where 1 are between 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1 is going to be between 2. And that's what this 5 is going to represent. It's going to be between 2 everywhere. Your 10 system connect in your star system when you're born. Your 1, 9, 10. Your 3, 7, 10. Your 4, 6, 10. Your 8, 2, 10. They each tell a different story. Apparently in designs, when you're awake, you have this one. When you're asleep, you're using this one. What time is it? Wow, that's crazy. All day long, I've been seeing 13, 13, 13, 13, and the 13 represents waterworks and electric company. 13 sometimes is bad luck, and the reason why it's bad luck, and it's not bad luck for everybody, it depends who you are and what you're thinking about. It's also good luck, because number 13 goes along with number 29. In Monopoly, right, in the house of 88, Monopoly is 88 to go around in the area space, right? It's 48 and 40. 48 and 40 for Monopoly, which is going to occupy the corners and the, hold on a second. Let me end. Yeah, sorry about that. So where was I? Yeah. So when we're counting by ones and we're counting by 2, when you're counting this way, right, and you're counting this way, it's different. Also, when you hit something this way, you split it equally apart. Okay. When you do something this way, it's on an angle. It's like the beehive. Not only is it like the beehive, it's a razor blade cut. See, this is the razor blade movement. So this goes by 1, this goes by 2, represented by the queen. The queen has 8 eyes. This one over here, okay, is going to be the split of the ace. You see the way the ace will split? When the ace splits, we're counting by 2s. What is to the left? What is to the right? It keeps splitting it like this. This is your pyramid. It's a split pyramid. The house is split. Now, we just don't live on that. We have to live in an area space, right? In the minimum area space, usually we should be to more than one side of the other because our heart has to be in the game. So the occupying area space we might take up, okay, is a full ground. We get full air, we get full ground. The thing is, we're not living here. Everything is being controlled from the other space. This will move around all the zodiac. This part will be the 512 of us, right? The conscious unconscious, the dead and the living. What's telling us all the information on the other side? We live the half-life. We live the 30, right? Like the 30 seconds, okay? We live 110% of the 30. Our names are Sam. AM is for the spirit. This is the male spirit over here. The male spirit connected, okay, under the house of the divided sun, connected to the 2 wings, the 10 wing, the ABCD wing, the analog digital transformation. The S letter is the 19th letter. It's also going to express what is the center, the reason why 19 is on the low cycle. 19 in French is going to be said as 10 and 9. Now, because there's no schooling for me, I'm not looking for the school. I'm just creating what I see. And in the science, I see a 10 and a 9. And because I know how to add and subtract, I go 10 plus 9, 19. 10 minus 9, 1. If I see the 1, I automatically know it's going to split like this. And when I see the 19, because I see the 9, it's the letter I know the I comes with a line and a dot. That dot is the moon, and the line is for Earth. That dot is for Mars. That Mars is the one in control of our lunar moon. And that Earth lives under the breath we take of the narine of Mars. La narine of Mars. Marine of Mars. The marine of Mars. The maritime walls of laws of kings of Mars. The house of Mars is within Saturn. It is the halfway house. Saturn has a rat. It is a dark sun. It is a split house as well, because you're not only housing, okay, you're housing the electronics, okay, that work with every single individual, every birth certificate on this planet, and it has an individual connection with each one of us on this planet. Everything that is breathing on this planet that is human as I know it, okay, is what they call as the beast system. And human is knowing as what is the beast, and I am. Just 1 second. Hey. Hey. Is he going in the back? Okay, bye. Okay, hold on. I just got a third dog. Hold on. Okay. Relax there, guys. Hey, there you go. So, yeah, we're going to continue doing this video. Yeah, just give me a second. I just want to just change it up for 2 seconds. Let's go see what the dogs are doing. Whoa, I sort of ended